Holding a basketball to me is natural. I've been doing this since I was a little boy. My dad was a high school basketball coach. I played in all kinds of city leagues, church leagues, school teams. So this is second nature to me to have a feel of a ball in my hand. And I was fortunately blessed by the good Lord to have some good eye-hand coordination and whatnot. But occasionally in wheelchair basketball, we'll get people that they're hurt, and all of a sudden they're in a wheelchair, and they want to play, or they want to give this a shot, or they want to make some friends. And I realized quickly that they don't have a background in basketball like I do, but they can be taught. And everyone's a little bit different, and not everybody's going to be a superstar and All-American, but we teach them to dribble, we teach them to shoot, we teach them to move the chair, we teach them about offense, we teach them about defense. They learn to get yelled at by the coach. And so it's a disadvantage, but it's not something that somebody can't pick up. I'm not a natural skier. I've only skied a handful of times in my life. I love snowmobiling. But, I believe with the right equipment and the right help, I could go up here to Park City or Snowbird and learn how to ski. And it's kind of the same way with wheelchair basketball. And we have some guys that they can sit down here at this free throw line, and they could shoot 20 free throws, and, they'll knock down 20 of them. Other guys are only going to make 10 of them. And that's just the nature of any sport. Some people are better at certain things than others. One of the most amazing parts of this entire game to me is the athletes and the disabilities that they have and how they acquired those disabilities and how inspiring they are to overcome those disabilities. And we're all a little bit different. Some guys will walk in the gym and they might be missing a foot. They jump in their wheelchair. Those are amputees. Other guys have a spinal cord injury, maybe from a gunshot, maybe from a car wreck. It could be really low in their back. It could be up in their mid-chest. Now, if somebody's broken their neck and can't move their arms or legs, that's a quadriplegic. Unfortunately, they don't have the arm strength to play wheelchair basketball, to be able to shoot a ball up to the basket. And there's all kinds of different disabilities. Some people were born maybe with spina bifida. And so they were born that way, and they can play wheelchair basketball. Many people become disabled, and it's not uncommon that 10,000 young men every year in the United States of America between the ages of 18 and 24 fall off a mountain or get in a car wreck, or they just get hurt, and it affects their legs, obviously. Like me, I'm a complete paraplegic. I do not have any ability to stand, to walk, to limp, but half of my teammates do. You'd see them sitting here like me, but then when they get home, they wouldn't live in their wheelchair. They'd put their wheelchair in the back of their van or whatnot, and they would live around their house on their feet. So it's just very complicated, and I don't want to bore you to death, but there are rules that you have to have a certain level of disability to legally be able to play wheelchair basketball in the United States. It kind of got started after, I think it was World War II, when the vets would come home and be missing legs or have spinal cord injuries, and they needed something to do because they were competitive and loved sports. And so the National Wheelchair Basketball Association was formed 60 years ago. It's still in existence to this day. We've got juniors teams, women's teams, college teams, over 100 men's teams, which I'm on the Utah Wheeling Jazz. And we follow college rules, and of course we're not rich and famous and don't get paid like the NBA athletes, but it is just a competitive game. This is not just a game where you go out and you sit in a wheelchair and someone pushes you down the floor. This is competitive, it's rough,